The full story of the Mercedes V-Class, Vito, Viano and mixed up from 2000 onward. At the very beginning of the 2000s, Mercedes was still producing the first generation of the Vito, the W638, originally launched in 1996. But by this time it was already showing its age. The W638 was a front-wheel drive van with transversely mounted engines, McPherson suspension at the front and a semi-independent rear axle. Under the hood you could find 2.2-liter CDI diesels from the own 611 family. These used the very first generation of Bosch common rail injection with electromagnetic injectors and a CP1 high-pressure pump. Power output ranged between 82 and 122 horsepower, torque up to around 280 Newton meters, and real-world fuel economy was around 7 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers. There were also gasoline engines of 2.0 and 2.3 liters, but those were thirsty, often 11 to 12 liters per 100 kilometers or more, which made them less suitable for commercial use. As a workhorse, the W638 Vito could carry around 1,000–1,200 kilograms and offered a cargo volume of up to 5 cubic meters. For its time it was practical, but the market was moving forward. Customers wanted more torque, better refinement, and a stronger technical base. W639, the big step forward 2003. In 2003 Mercedes introduced the second generation, the Vito W639, and this was a game changer. Dawn was the front-wheel drive layout. The new Vito was rear-wheel drive, with optional all-wheel drive for MATIC. This immediately improved handling under heavy loads and when towing. Engines and fuel systems. The core of the lineup were 2.2-liter four-cylinder diesels from the own 646 family. These used Bosch common rail injection, second generation, with injection pressures up to 1600 bar and electromagnetic injectors. Depending on tuning, outputs range from 88 to 150 horsepower, with torque between 220 and 330 Newton meters. Fuel consumption averaged 7 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Above them sat the OM642 3.0 V6 CDI, an aluminum block, VOHC, 24-valve diesel. It used Bosch CP3 high-pressure pumps and piezo injectors with pressures up to 1800 bar. This engine produced 204 horsepower and 440 Newton meters of torque, while still averaging under 10 liters per 100 kilometers in real use. For some markets Mercedes offered V6 gasoline engines, 3.2 and 3.5 liters with port fuel injection, between 190 and 230 horsepower. But with real-world consumption of 13 to 14 liters, they were mostly chosen for passenger vans, not commercial versions. Payload and cargo versions. The cargo Vito could take up to 1,300 kg of payload and had a maximum cargo volume of around 6.5 cubic meters. Heavy-duty versions were fitted with stiffer springs and reduced interior insulation, built for work, not comfort. Transmission and suspension. Standard vans used 6-speed manual gearboxes, while stronger diesels in version 6S came with the 5-speed automatic 5G-tronic. Suspension was independent on all 4 wheels. McPherson struts up front and a multi-link setup at the rear. This was unique in the segment. Rivals like the VW Transporter T5 or Ford Transit still used leaf springs, so the Vito behaved much more like a passenger car. Viano, the premium variant. Alongside the Vito came the Mercedes Viano, aimed at families and corporate shuttles. It offered luxury options, leather interiors, different seating configurations including a conference setup with seats facing each other, entertainment systems with ceiling-mounted screens. Technically it shared engines with the Vito, but was positioned higher in comfort. 2010 facelift. In 2010 the W639 range received a major facelift. The suspension and steering were retuned, noise insulation improved, and new electronic safety systems were added. Engines were updated with more efficient injectors and blue FSI and CY packages, including start-stop and smart alternator control. Fuel consumption was reduced by roughly a liter compared to earlier versions. W447, splitting into Vito and V-Class 2014. In 2014 the next generation arrived, the W447. Mercedes now made a clear split, Vito for cargo and utility, V-Class for premium passenger transport. Engines. Initially the lineup featured OM 651 2.1-liter diesels. These were modern 4 cylinders with aluminum heads, common rail direct injection and piezo injectors, injection pressures up to 2000 bar. Outputs ranged from 136 to 190 horsepower, with torque between 330 and 440 Newton meters. Real fuel use was excellent, 6.5-8 liters per 100 kilometers. From 2019 onwards, Mercedes introduced the new OM 654 2.0-liter diesels. These had all aluminum blocks, variable cooling, AdBlue selective catalytic reduction, and injection pressures up to 2,500 bars. Power ranged from 163 to 239 horsepower, with torque up to 500 Newton meters. Paired with the 9G Tronic automatic, they offered both efficiency and smoothness. Gasoline versions with 2.0 turbo engines existed, but in Europe they remained niche due to fuel economy and tax rules. Cargo capabilities. The W447 Vito cargo van could haul around 1,250 kilograms and offered up to 6.9 cubic meters of cargo space. Mixto models combined passenger seats with cargo areas, serving as a middle ground. Suspension and comfort. Passenger-focused V-Class models could be equipped with aromatic air suspension, allowing the vehicle to lower itself for easy access or raise for rough roads. Even the Cargo Vito retained independent multi-link rear suspension, giving it a car-like ride, unmatched by many competitors. Safety and electronics. From its launch, the W447 offered cutting-edge safety tech. Lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, distronic collision prevention with automatic braking, and driver fatigue monitoring, attention assist. These systems made it one of the safest vans on the market. 2019 facelift. The 2019 update brought refreshed styling and introduced the OM 654 engines with 9-speed automatics. Interior quality improved further, and new infotainment systems were added. Marco Polo, the camper icon. Before moving on to the electric future, it's worth highlighting one of the most interesting branches of the V-Class family, the Marco Polo camper vans. Based on the W447 platform, the Marco Polo turned the V-Class into a compact motorhome designed for travel and outdoor adventure. What set it apart was the clever interior packaging. The rear cabin could be transformed into a double bed, while a pop-up roof revealed a second sleeping area above. This meant up to 4 people could sleep comfortably inside the van. The side panel held a kitchenette unit with a 2-burner stove, sink, fridge and storage cabinets. Foldable tables and swivel front seats allowed the interior to become a true living space. The Marco Polo also offered options such as auxiliary heating, solar charging, advanced infotainment, and even outdoor awning systems. Despite being a camper, it retained all the driving qualities of the V-Class: smooth diesels, automatic transmissions, and the comfort of a luxury MPV. Compared to competitors like the VW California, the Marco Polo stood out with a more premium interior, higher quality materials, and the availability of powerful diesel engines paired with automatic gearboxes. For many, it became the ultimate combination of Mercedes luxury and outdoor freedom. Electric versions, e-Vito and EQV. Mercedes also moved toward electrification. The e-Vito was the first, aimed at urban logistics. It used a 41 kWh battery, giving 150 to 180 km of real-world range. Payload remained close to diesel versions, up to a ton, making it practical for city deliveries. The flagship was the EQV, the luxury electric MPV. With a 90 kWh battery, it offered 300 to 350 km of range. It retained all the features of the V-Class: leather seating, the MBUX infotainment system, ambient lighting, and optional air suspension. For hotels, corporate transfers, or family travel, the EQV became a premium, zero-emission solution. Final thoughts. From 2000 to today, the Mercedes V family has transformed completely. The W638 was still a simple, front-wheel drive work van. The W639 brought modern CDI diesels, rear-wheel drive stability, payloads of 1,300 kg, and luxury in the form of the Viano. The W447 split the lineup into the practical Vito and the premium V-Class, with high-tech OHM 651 and OHM 654 diesels, up to 239 horsepower, 9-speed automatics, and advanced safety. The Marco Polo added adventure with its camper layout, pop-up roof and integrated kitchen, competing directly with VW's California. Finally, the e-Vito and EQV carried the range into the electric era. What makes Mercedes unique is how they managed to cover everything in one family. Cargo vans with up to 6.9 cubic meters of space, mixto for mixed use, luxury V-Class models rivaling executive sedans, camper Marco Polo for travel freedom, and now full EVs. In terms of technology, from common rail injection, piezo injectors, and high-pressure pumps, to airmatic suspension and advanced driver aids, the Vito and V-Class have led their segment for 2 decades.